the Spirit of God was on the surface of the deep.
Then God said, let there be light. Bible said then light came. And God saw the light that it was good. God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and he called the darkness night. There is a mystery here. Listen,
Bible said it was God that saw the light. He said, let there be. And it is God that said the light was good. No man saw that light. And you know, God is a spirit. And the sight of spirit it's not these two eyes. If you must see that kind of light that God saw, that he called good, you don't need this your physical eye. So take your mind off from flashlight. I'm not talking about flashlight here now. So what then is that light that God saw that he said it was good? Now you see, when he created the world or the earth naturally, it was dark. Darkness was automatic. And so he needed to call light that only he can see and say it is good out of that darkness. And when he now called the light, he said, you this light, you will be called day. And the darkness which already exists would be called night. Then the Bible said, and the evening and the morning were the first day. Look at the limitation of language. Listen to me, child of God. God has now started counting days, so that means that time has begun. Is it not the same God who said that the light he called out of the darkness, that he saw it was good, he called that light day, and the darkness that already existed, he called it night? How come he didn't give another name when the light and the darkness come together and he's still calling it day? When we say the evening and the morning, it is as good as saying the night and the day were the first day. You see the limitation of language, that there should have been a name to replace the day, so that it will be the evening and the morning was the first something. Then the Bible said, and God said, let there be an expanse between the waters. Oh my God. And let it separate the waters from the waters. Looks like language is limited. It doesn't have enough words. What do you mean by separate the waters from the waters?
And the Bible said, and God made the expanse and separated the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse. And it was so. And God called the expanse heaven.
Now remember, when I began, I told you that in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Two things he created in the beginning.
Now I told you that God literally put aside that first heaven he created, and his focus is now on the earth. Now have you seen that when we have now reached verse number 7 of the same chapter, it is now saying that, and when God separated the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the